It's your boy Mike. Welcome back to another Dokkan Battle video. So with this information coming out that it might be ROF because of this statement, I couldn't make his form any simpler, so instead I mainly just changed his color. Gold felt like the strongest, I guess, because I associate it with gold medals. I figured why not just make like a EZA prediction video, especially because I like to do these every now and then, so that way if you want to, you can go ahead and link level these units, and that way when the details come out about these EZAs, you're going to have them already linked 10, right? So I have the EZAs and super EZAs that have not been done yet. Unfortunately, this is the most up-to-date list, but it still has a couple missing. The Super Saiyan 4s are not on this, and as well as the AGO, Goten, and Trunks. But we could just pretend that they're, you know, already done as is anyways. As per always, though, thank you for the list, and I will make sure to link it down in the comments below. So, right out the get-go, I'd probably say that they're not going to do this Golden Frieza over here. I feel like that's more so for a Tournament of Power sort of category, because if we just go ahead and look at the links for that Frieza, their links are really wonky. Hold on, let me pull up a Frieza real quick because I actually didn't have them up beforehand. If we go ahead and look at Wicked Bloodline and we look at that Frieza, I really would not want them to get the EZA just yet, because we have Tournament of Power, and I think that one just is not going to be linking up too well with a lot of the others. And yeah, like if we even just look at this list here, the most you'll share is like 5 out of 7. I guess that's not the worst, but even still, I feel like this is still going to be more so kept for a Tournament of Power celebration. But that's just my opinion, of course. Either way, though, I saw Minatos talking about the fact that that they could super EZA the AGO Goku and then the Tech Frieza. I personally don't see it like that. Again, if we just go ahead and check the list right here, we would have to be going from the 2016 characters not even being fully done all the way to 2018, like midway of 2018. And sure, that's kind of like the time period that we'll see for like just regular EZAs, right? Like we still have one from 2020, but we're getting a lot of EZAs from 2022, right? So they usually have this like 3-year window period in a sense, and we have that 2016, 2017, and 2018. So it's not like out of the question. I just think that when there's other characters like the Tech Golden Frieza and just more that we're going to talk about on this list, I think it's just more likely for them. But let's just go ahead and take them out the way. If we go ahead and look at Resurrection F, the link, we could see that there are just a couple right off the bat that are just easy to point out. I think that these side banner units can definitely get their EZAs and would honestly be pretty nice to see, considering that they'll be linking up with the Int ROF characters as well, or the Int ROF blues. And we could actually see here, right? They'll link up extremely well as 2, right? They'll have it where it's 6 out of 7 links for this Goku, and it'll be 6 out of 7 links for the Vegeta as well. So again, really just a good linking situation for that if we are able to do it. And because it's a Goku / Vegeta, it'll have it where it's the it'll go ahead and be they'll be able to link up with those characters as well. But it's gonna be hard to tell what exactly they'll update about these characters, other than maybe just another way to get orbs, right? Like something to Rainbow would always be pretty cool, like one key sphere of a certain type to Tech, and then one key sphere of a certain type other than Tech and other than this one also gets changed into Rainbow. That'd be awesome. And I don't know if I really like the fact that they get more per Tech, but that's fine. Like that's the least of my worries. Maybe like a certain amount of key spheres obtained will give like Vegeta guard, and then like the certain amount of key spheres obtained will give either Goku damage reduction or dodge or something like that, right? Like that could be pretty interesting for both characters. Or maybe like Goku gets like 50% damage reduction and guard, and then Vegeta gets like the guard and then like 50% dodge chance as well. That could always be like a really nice combo to see. Like 5 key spheres gets you this, and then 5 key spheres that are Tech gives you this as well. And then What else was there here? Oh yeah, so we were just talking about them, but the into RF Blues and then the AGL Golden Frieza, I would say that these guys have a really high likelihood. If we go ahead and go back to that list that we were talking about, we could see here that they are right there on the right side of 2022, meaning that again, it's not out of the question for them to just do something like that for sure, considering that they're in the time period that they would be able to get these easy A's, right? And honestly, like it could be really interesting for both of these characters. I would most look forward to the Golden Frieza just because of the fact that they get 90% damage reduction right at the start, and then they have it where they lose 10% up to 60%, so they'll have 30% max, and they just have so much like versatility in their kit and so much just like really decent stuff inside of their kit as is, right? Having it where they, after receiving 5 attacks, they get more ki. Having it after performing 5 super attacks, they get more ki and defense. When their HP is 50% or more, they do an additional super attack to help you build up that more super attacks right over here. They also get the extra attack and defense from this. Having it where they just start off with a really just good amount of ki for back then, right? Considering that you can get up to 9 ki with this character after getting hit 5 times and after doing 5 super attacks, they were really nice. And having the defense here was also pretty good as well. If they could just make it where potentially if this was just 100, that would be so cool. Just like turn 1, this character is unkillable, more so than they already are. That would be such a nice buff for this. And then potentially dropping this down to like 5% and then cap it at like 50 potentially would be nice. That if they don't remove this and it's still 60%, and then like let's say that this gets bumped up to 100, so they have 40% damage reduction, I really hope that either in the performing a super attacks or the receiving super attacks, they just get like guard or something like that. Oh, maybe even just another way to get more damage reduction, right? Like they just get 90% here, and then they lose the 10% up to 60%, but after performing 5 or more super attacks, they get an additional 30% damage reduction. After receiving 5 attacks, they get an additional 30% damage reduction, so they can go back up to that 90%, or even just 20% for both, and they can get cap out at like, what would it be, 70% damage reduction. I think that would be pretty fair. That would be that. I would be so happy if they did something like that too. And something else is this always sucked. Like this was always the worst thing in the world. Having it where you have to be below the 50% HP threshold, and then you did that attack. But remember, they got more attack and defense, and they launched an additional super attack when they have more HP. So this hit like the worst thing in the world, right? So something that a lot of these newer units have been doing, like right off the get-go, that I can kind of think of it off the top of my head, the GT SSJs, they had it where they understood that because a lot of their buffs were post super attack, they needed to change that in their easy A, right? So if we could get something like this where it's like, oh, when activating the active skill, you get a massive attack buff and then you do a critical hit, I think that would be pretty beneficial for this character for sure. And then for the int RF Blues, honestly, just stacking attack and defense. And I don't know what they want to do for Vegeta. Maybe just greatly stacking attack and defense. That would be awesome if they made it where it's just like, oh, the character gets stronger when they transform. Something, I don't know. Honestly, just make that 4 turns. I don't know. The issue is that they were just all stats when these characters came out. They were just all stats. So if you did take them into like a tech fight, it was horrible for them. So I don't know what they would do in order to help that. They definitely need something similar to like either being able to crit, having some crit chance, having just type effective against all types just guaranteed. They either need guard, they need dodge, they need damage reduction. They need one of those things to just help out. Maybe just like Goku has like 59% damage reduction and guard for the first 3 turns. Like he has the guard for the first 3 turns, and then Vegeta just has it where it's like from the for 3 turns they get the guard is like permanent, and then like the 3 turns it's more damage reduction again. So it's like you stay into Goku and you keep stacking even though you'll lose this, and then afterwards once you're done stacking you go into this character who's going to get all those buffs. That could be interesting. I don't think like they could easy 8 Jocko, I guess. I don't really care. Did we put Tech Golden Frieza on here too, right? Yes. So this is probably like my biggest pick for super easy A's if I had to. Because we just go back onto this list and they're like literally the next one up. The next Dokkan Fest is right there. Right. So free to play wise, they're probably gonna do this STR Frieza as well, which we do have later on. But I think number one choice, boom, is that Tech Golden Frieza. Because having it where they're just so old, and maybe having like 90% damage reduction here and then 80% here would be pretty nice, but we'll have to see. Their kit is just very open in a sense. This sucks though. I really hate that they never changed super attack effects with these super easy A's, because this is so bad. Massively lowering defense and not getting any buffs to yourself, offensively, defensively, just anything. It's just lowering the defense. It's just not, it just can't work in this day and age. So they really have to do like something major with this character in order to save them. The STR Frieza though, I would really just hope that they just make them a floating support unit and give it where it's just like, as the first or third attacker, get a defense. When in the third slot you do an additional super attack, which would give you even more defense up here. Having it where they just get like all of these buffs when attacking super class characters. The 18 key gives you more attack. Maybe doing the 24 key gives you an additional super attack on top of that. Then potentially just giving them like a super high chance to dodge, and just like the support wall in the third slot, similar to like physical Kid Goku, where he just gets like a decent amount of support wall in there. It could be really nice. Cooler, yes, these were these could easily be saved, because they didn't do it during the worldwide celebration or the global Dokkan celebration. So having it where they do it during Tanabata instead could be really nice. I think they should hold off on doing the Goku and then the SHA duo. It would just be cool if they just did the coolers instead, and just tried buffing the Frieza team as much as they possibly could. Not to say that those two would be bad though. Like Bird Coup and Super Saiyan duo would also be really nice too. But cooler, just please make this not be 50 or 30% chance. This was the stupidest thing of all time. Please stop making these 30%. Just make them either guaranteed or don't give me it at all. Like genuinely, I would just redesign this character on Easy A, make this an additional super attack guaranteed, turn this from one additional attack to just one guaranteed additional super, and that's it. Like, I understand that losing the additional attack would suck for the active skill, but I genuinely think that it's so much worse to just have it where there's all of these normals, especially when so many of these bosses nowadays have it where they get like extra buffs on getting hit a whole bunch of times. Just do the additional super attack, man. I'm so frustrated on seeing the stupid just normal attack over and over again. Please, I'd give this guy some sort of utility. Both of them technically need utility, but Cooler was always just the offensive juggernaut. If they want to just continue to being like that, where it's like, oh, Cooler can just be all stats, but he's going to be high stats, that's fine. Physical Cooler though needs something. He has nothing. There's nothing here. He gets buffs on getting hit, which is a really bad ability, and all he has defensively, utility wise, is the healing, and then this. When you have an unarmed super attack, you have a 70% 70% chance of nullifying it, and I guess the KO mechanic. But still, also he's like one of the only characters that don't get like stronger post KO. I don't understand why that's a thing. They really need to make it where it is a thing, because like the only thing that he gets buffs for is the active skill. Just make it where it's just like, oh, he gets like just insane amount of stats on his revive, because it's not like anyone else is going to be like fighting for that spot. He's still the only revive unit that you would want to even put on the like Wicked Bloodline team, right? But I think that's it. I can't really think of any other EZAs off the top of my head. They could, I guess they could always do the other like coolers here as well, but I feel like they would more so save that just for later on and sprinkle those in just as time goes on, because like the physical final form cooler doesn't need a super EZA right now, as much as I would just want more Friezas to get the EZAs, right? But as always, thank you all for watching. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Like, comment, subscribe, do that good stuff. It really helps out the channel a lot. We are so close to 2K subscribers. But hope you all have a great week. See you guys in the next one. Peace.